So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 11 Cool Grey. Can you tell any differences between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a video for you that has been eagerly requested, and it's a comparison between two Nike Air Jordan 11s in the Cool Grey colorway, which came out just before Christmas. So I'll just be going through the differences between the two pairs. This one on my right is the retail pair, this one on my left here is the fake pair, and the retail one was actually purchased directly from Sneakers. So we'll just be looking at the differences and what to look for if you're trying to purchase the retail pair. But before we get into the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Legitmark. So Legitmark is the safest and most reliable place to get your sneakers authenticated, and they have this shoe on the platform, so if you're looking to get it authenticated and check if yours is real, there's a link in the description below. So in terms of the boxes themselves, they are very similar indeed. I know the color does look a little bit different, but that's because the light's mainly on this side, so this one just looks a little bit lighter, but I can confirm they are the same color. In sizing wise, the fake box is a tiny bit smaller than the retail box, and it's a little bit more damaged in places around it just because it wasn't shipped perfectly. The retail one obviously is shipped in perfect condition. There's pretty much no damage on the box at all. And if we spin it around and take a look at the labels, we can see here that the labels are actually very different. So the retail one that I've got is purchased in the UK, so it has a UK label, whereas the fake one has the US price tag on the side. But one thing that's interesting to note is at the top where it says Air Jordan 11 Retro, it's completely spaced on the retail label compared to the fake one where it's pretty much all squished together. But nobody really wants me to talk about the boxes for the entire video, so we'll open it up and take a look at the shoes themselves. So we'll open up the retail one first. I've actually already looked at these, so that's why the paper's a little bit messy, but they were actually completely flat with the paper on top. For once, the paper actually covers the shoes very well. However, there is a difference here, so I'll show you on the close-up. The paper is a little bit different. The retail one is a darker black compared to the fake one, and in terms of the feel, I would say the fake one is a little bit thicker than the retail one. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 11 Cool Grey. Can you tell any differences between these two? So the first thing to note is on the right one, the fake one has the size sticker from the insole just stuck to the toe, which I don't really know why, but these are both a UK 9, US 10, so the differences should be very minimal in the comparison. So the first difference to note actually occurs on the back of the shoe, and if I give you a close-up of this heel material here and actually the inner sock liner, you can see that is a slightly different color. On the retail one, it's a much lighter grey, almost a cool grey as you could call it, compared to the fake one, which is a darker grey, more charcoal-like compared to the retail one. So there are small differences to note if you're going to authenticate this pair. The next difference to note actually occurs on the inside of the tongue, and where you take a look at the Jordan label here, you can see there are differences between the retail and the fake. On the fake one, the label is much larger than the retail one. As you can see, the Jordan logo pretty much takes up quite a large proportion on the retail one, compared to the fake one where the Jordan logo looks quite small in the middle of it. So another minor difference between the two shoes is actually the laces themselves. So on the retail one, they are a slightly more yellowy color than the fake one. The fake one they've gone for a clear white, and I actually think the white looks much better. Also, the fake ones have the laces slightly thicker than the retail one. On the retail one, they're just a tiny bit thinner. But once again, this detail is very hard to see, and the color will change once wearing them, and they get a bit dirty. Spinning the shoe upside down and looking at the inner side of the sole, you can see this carbon-like material. If we compare this retail to fake, you can see they're actually slightly different between the two, whereas the carbon material is slightly darker on the fake one compared to the retail one. The retail one actually looks a little bit more messy than the fake one, which I'm pretty surprised about. In my opinion, I think the fake one looks better, but that's just a difference to note between the two of what to look for if you're trying to authenticate these. Also, if we look at the Jordan logo underneath the sole, you can see differences in sizing and positional. On the fake one, it's a little bit messy underneath. You can see an outline on the actual Jordan logo itself, whereas on the retail one, it's very cleanly done. Another small difference to note on the Jordan logo on the right shoe itself is the actual Jordan logo on the heel, and you can see that there are slight differences in the actual quality control of the stitching itself. On this one, the retail pair is very cleanly done, stitching is absolutely perfect, whereas the fake one has a few loose stitches and makes Jordan's leg look a little bit chunky compared to the retail one. But other than this tiny area here, the Jordan logo, the overall stitching quality on the fakes is incredibly good, and I'm actually very surprised by this. They've done a really good job of this. Now, if we take out the cardboard shoe tree from inside, See if there's any difference on this. Oh my god, the fake one's impossible to get out. So, giving you a close-up of this, we can see slight differences here, but only very minor. They've got pretty much the printing exactly spot on between the two, and if we spin them upside down, you can see on the retail one it says molded sock liner, whereas on the fake one it says die cut sock liner. So there are differences to note between the two. Also, the bottom of the cardboard on the fake one is much more texturized than it is on the retail one. Taking another look at the sole of the shoe, and if you look towards this U-shaped track at the back of the heel, you can see there is a white circle underneath the sole. Here you can see their size and positionally very different from retail to fake. The fake one is much larger than the retail one, so just look at the sole closely when you're trying to authenticate these, because that is a telltale sign between the two pairs. If we look at the back of the shoe and take a look at the heel of the sole, you can see the white part of the sole where it comes up and hits a point and then curves around. You can see on the retail one it's much more curved and smooth on the retail one, and if you look at the fake one you can see it has a sharp point which is just not very cleanly cut by the manufacturer. And you can see it goes down either side and goes to almost a point like a V. So this is very different from retail to fake. So do look out for these small details, because that's what's going to take to legit check these, because these are very, very close indeed. And if you are struggling to tell the difference between the two pairs, there is a link in the description for LegitMark, because they have this pair on the platform and they are here to help you if you are struggling. So if you don't know if you got a real or fake pair for Christmas, do check them out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I know these details are very small, but that's what you have to go to now to check your pair is authentic. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you have a good New Year. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.